All right, y'all, it's that time of the year, man. Manning Passing Academy. Some of the top quarterbacks in college football comes to this event. Basically, you get to learn from one of the best to ever do it. And obviously, Peyton Manning. No, he's not the GOAT. He's not Tom Brady. But he is one of the best ones to ever play the sport. And he obviously goes and trains and lets these guys pass, gives them advice, insight on how you can perfect the quarterback position. Let's look at it. All right, so no other than his nephew, Arch Manning, in attendance. Not too surprised with that one. He is expected to be a top quarterback this year. Obviously, should be in the Heisman race. We'll see how everything pans out, but no surprise there. All right, next up, John Mateer. Again, a lot of these guys on this list have been on college football top 10 lists, you know what I'm saying, all offseason, whether it's On 3, whether it's CBS Sports, 247 Sports, whatever it may be. These guys have been on the list. Now, Mateer's going to take over for a team that has a lot of expectations in 2025 in the Oklahoma Sooners, right? Got Jaden Ott, the top transfer portal running back, right? Obviously have their head coach in Brent Venables, right? But they got to take a step forward, right? This team cannot look how they looked last year, right? That's going to be a big problem, right? So they got to do and perform a lot better at a higher level. Then you got Drew Allar. Obviously, some people says if he would have went in this draft, he went number 2. He gets a lot of his talent back. There should be no excuses for this Penn State team. Let's go ahead and keep it honest. You got Cade Allen another year. You got Nicholas Singleton another year. Both were 1,000-yard rushers last year. Then you add Trevor Pena, obviously, in the transfer portal. You have to perform this year. No excuses, but love to see that he's obviously at this event. Luke Altmaier is another really good quarterback. Can he get Illinois to take that next step forward? That is the biggest question, obviously, for him. But good to see him in the tens learning from one of the greats. Avery Johnson is another interesting example. Kansas State, same kind of thing. They were expected to win the Big 12 last year, right? A lot of expectations on that group. He comes in for another year. Can he take another step forward? Cade Klubnik, no surprise here, man. He's already had a quote that came out earlier today that he's been watching a lot of tape of Bailey Zappi and Joe Burrow. Not a bad pick in order to kind of perfect your craft and continue to learn, especially learning from Joe Burrow. Bailey Zappi, you know what I'm saying? But Joe Burrow, you want to perfect your craft and learn and see what he was able to do? Salute to you, brother. Sam Levy, we've talked a lot about him. I just did a video recently about just his expectations for the season. Obviously, you look at he's trying to win a national title, and he's trying to be in the Heisman conversation and win a Heisman, right? Had a really productive freshman year. Threw for over 2,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. So, big upcoming test for him. Led Arizona State. Can he take that next jump? Garrett Nussmeier, same thing we've been talking about, similar to DJ Lagway, has all the talent in the world. Can you connect in the intermediate game? That's his biggest question. We know the long ball, but can you take what the defense gives you if the long ball is not there? Can LSU take the next step forward? Then you got Lenora Sellers, who obviously has been in a whole bunch of top 10 conversations. Same kind of a thing. They're expecting South Carolina to do their thing this year. Will they be able to get it done? Now for Ole Miss, new quarterback, Austin Simmons is going to lead this group. Really strong front. They should have, once again this upcoming year, some pretty good playmakers, as well. So interesting to see him obviously on this list. Then you got Ty Simpson of Alabama. Competing, obviously, for a QB1 spot with Austin Mack, obviously Keelan Russell, who will emerge, and then Gunnar Stockton of Georgia, who will be QB1 for the Bulldogs. So great to see all these quarterbacks, obviously, here who will be able to kind of separate themselves. I think it's going to be interesting to see and kind of notate here. But I think the biggest question, who will get kind of that Peyton Manning, recognition? Who will stand out in this camp? It's going to tell us a lot, especially about who's going to be able to come out on top, man. But a really good list of quarterbacks, some of the best ones in the country attending this camp to perfect and improve their craft. You love to see it, and they're going to get to learn from one of the best to ever do it, man. That's what you want, man. Excited to see what these kids and obviously players are going to be able to do.